Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Quinn. On this channel, I'm just basically talking about TV shows and media, basically anything relevant that I'm gonna offer my opinions on. Today, we're gonna be talking about Yellowstone. Yellowstone follows the Dutton family. More specifically though, John Dutton. John Dutton owns the biggest ranch in the United States, located in Montana. And with that comes a lot of enemies, a lot of problems. Indigenous people who were on the land first want it back. Big companies want the land in order to run businesses that would benefit the community. And they're all trying to take the land from John. So that's basically the whole premise of the show. I'm going into this video offering a discussion about these characters and their personalities and their storylines. So basically, this is for people who have already seen the show. This is not a review. With that being said, I'm just gonna go character by character, discussing their personalities and their storylines. First, I'm gonna start with John Dutton.
We don't share land here.
If you act like a thief, I will treat you like one.
We're gonna do this my way, all right? Past catches up to everyone.
John Dutton is one of the worst characters. And I don't mean the worst in terms of writing. I mean the worst in terms of how he treats others. John Dutton uses every single person he comes in contact with as a pawn to try to keep his land. He sent Jamie to law school. He sent Beth off to become some kind of business analyst. He taught Lee how to become a rancher. And the only kid who didn't listen was Kayce. And he got branded. Apart from using his kids as literal pawns, he literally uses everyone else to his disposal. He used the governor essentially to ensure that no outside influences could take his land. He uses Rip to prey on vulnerable people in compromising situations to employ them to the bunkhouse. He ensures them that they're safe and that this is just a workplace, and then he brands them. He uses them all up and then they go to the train station. And if you try stepping outside of his rule, he literally hates you. You can't tell me that John doesn't hate Jamie. He hates Jamie. And he hates Jamie because Jamie is the only one that is stepping outside of his rules. You could argue that Kayce also stepped out of his rules, but I would argue that Kayce never even listened to his rules. And that's why he doesn't really care about Kayce not listening. Kayce was also their mother's favorite, so I think John, for the love that he had for his wife, which is probably the only genuine relationship that he had, I think with that, he wants to mend the relationship he has with Kayce because of his wife. And I think the same rules apply to Beth. The only reason he still loves her and appreciates her is because she listens to literally everything he says. He uses literally everyone in sight, and I think it's probably one of his biggest character flaws. John, I don't think genuinely cares about anyone, probably apart from Tate, which is telling. That's basically how I feel about John. I think his only personality trait is trying to keep the land from literally everyone else. I also think that he has the most plot armor of literally any character. Remember when he had cancer? Remember that? Does he still have cancer? I don't know. He got shot in the season 3 finale. He's probably gonna live to see another day. To be honest, he's not being killed off. Kevin Costner is the biggest star in this cast and they can't write him off. So that's basically how I feel about John. I think he's evil. I think he's a user. And I think, quite frankly, he's annoying. Moving on to, I think, if it's not your favorite character, what are you doing? Beth.
What do you want?
To make a scene. You ready to watch that happen? I could just keep smashing shit.
Beth is literally the best character in this show, and you cannot argue with me on that. I will fight you to death. Beth is literally such a girl boss. She's not taking any BS from anyone but her father. And I think that's probably one of her only faults, is that she continuously listens to her dad no matter what. Other than that, she's literally perfect. She's probably one of the smartest characters on the show. She's literally ruining businesses, making their stocks go all the way down. Like, she's literally girl bossing everyone. Is she not literally like walking over everyone in her way for her father? You tell me, because she's the only one out here doing anything. Also, I want to talk about one of the biggest things that like happened to the character is that she can't have kids. For me, I think Beth would not be the same if she could have kids. If that didn't happen to her, then I don't think that she would be the character that we know and love today. I think she would be a lot more caring and nurturing and loving. I don't think she would be like the Beth. And I like that about her. I like that she is mean. She's literally not taking anything from anyone except her father and Rip. Her relationship with Rip is probably one of the most authentic relationships in this entire show.
I've held my weight in shame, but I'm baptized in your name.
The fact that he's the only one that can really get through to her is so... Her and Rip work so well. The fact that they are both crazy, hardened characters that don't take any BS, but they're so vulnerable around each other, it really is the show. Whenever Beth got attacked in her office and Rip showed up to save her, it was probably one of the only times in the show that I felt like there were actual stakes and that there was actual development in characters. And can we talk about how Beth is literally the only person here who's like receiving punch after punch? She got beat up by those people in her office and now she's getting blown up. She better be alive. She better be alive. I don't think that the show could continue, honestly, with her being dead. So yeah, I basically love Beth, but I think that's really all there is to say. She is literally everyone's favorite character, or should be, and I think her relationship with Rip is probably one of the best relationships in the show. Speaking of Rip, we're going to move into Rip.
You better get after it then. Too late. When we get back to the ranch, I'm gonna kill you with my bare fucking hands, Jimmy.
Rip had probably one of the saddest backstories of any character. The fact that he was raised and he grew up in like a troubled home is just so... it's sad. But I think also what happened to Rip and the way that he was hardened because he joined the bunkhouse, also really sad. John literally turned him into a killing monster. He's probably one of the coolest people in the entire show, but he'll kill you. He is the most terrifying character in the entire show. When John is threatening people, he's threatening people with Rip. John's never doing anything. John's never punching anybody. John's never doing anything. Rip is basically the one getting things done. He is hiding the bodies. He is taking the kills. He is doing everything on the ranch. Everything's getting done because of Rip. Yeah, that's basically all there is to say about Rip. He's the one who's getting it done. He's the one who's killing everybody, but his relationship with Beth, I think, is what ties them together. I want to see him a little bit more fleshed out, but we like what we see. Moving on to the next Dutton, who is Kayce.
I don't know how to do this, Monica. I don't know how to not be with you or not talk to you. You're my wife.
Kayce to me is a good guy. Obviously, he's not the best guy because he's killing people that his dad tells him to. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think that he's an okay guy. But I really think what brings Kayce down is Monica. Their relationship is not even comparable to Beth and Rip. They are literally so stale, so boring, and so melodramatic. That being said, I think that Kayce is a good guy. He's usually always doing the right thing, and he's protecting the people that he loves. I think that him going into politics and actually listening to his dad is kind of weird. I don't know why, but I don't see him as like a politician. But that's probably a good thing that I don't see him as a politician, because like some of the politicians are crooked, but he doesn't strike me as the person who's going to be like sitting down in the office, you know what I mean? I think that Kayce is a good guy overall, but I think he brings nothing to the table. So I think he's probably going to be killed off in the season 4 premiere, honestly, because I don't think that he brings much to the table. With that being said, I'm going to move on to Monica.
No, we can't stop the world from being bad, Monica.
Doesn't mean we shouldn't try.
Monica is boring, annoying, and dumb. Can we talk about, first off, how the actress is not even Native American? That's the tea. Secondly, she can't act. She can't act for anything. For anything. She brings down the whole entire quality of the show. And she's a main cast member, which is so annoying. I have many bones to pick with Monica. The fact that her storylines are so incredibly boring. I think the Native American issues should be left to Rainwater because they're the ones who are trying to get the land. Monica is literally eating with John, and she's trying to take the land. What is she doing? I don't know. And Monica seems like an awful parent. Can we talk about that? Monica is overall just stale. I don't even want to waste time talking about her because she's literally so annoying. She brings nothing to the plate. And I think she even brings down, for me, Kayce's character. I'm like, why is she here? Why is she in this cast? And why is she interacting with these characters that I love? So moving on from Monica, I'm going to move into Jamie Dutton.
I just want to look at you. See if I recognize anything in myself.
Jamie Dutton, he's overhated. He's overhated. Is Jamie a bit problematic? Yes. Is Jamie annoying sometimes? Yes. But I don't think Jamie is as bad as what people say. Really, what has Jamie done other than kill somebody? Which, I mean, sounds like a lot, but he was also told by his father to fix the problem. So we did. And can we talk about how literally none of their hands are clean because they've all been involved in all of this crime. So, and for years, he's listened to his dad over and over and over again. So eventually he's gonna want something for himself. Is he a little power hungry though? Maybe. But I think that comes with the territory, especially in the career that he wants to be doing, which is politics. What he did to Beth though, I juggle with Jamie. I think he's overhated, but what he did to Beth, the fact that he literally said okay for an involuntary hysterectomy, no comment. That was probably one of the worst things that he's done. I honestly don't think he's behind the attacks of season 3 because I think he's smarter than that. He knows that it would look so suspicious if he's the only one unscathed when his whole entire family is dead. Also, does he have a kid? I don't like how that storyline was completely overshadowed and we're moving into new territory. So all in all, I think that Jamie is an okay guy. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's particularly good, but I don't think he's evil like John. That being said, I'm going to move into the next character. The next character is Jimmy.
I could try it on.
Yay! Jimmy is very likable. I love Jimmy. I also like that he's had this storyline and character development of not really being a cowboy at all. He was literally a drug maker, not a drug dealer, a drug maker. But now he's this cowboy and he learned to ride horses and he's into rodeo. He's overall just progressed as a character, more so than I think anybody else. I would also like to see his relationship with the rodeo girl. I think her name is Mia or Maya. I don't know. But I think they're cute though. And I think they really have potential to be a really good couple. Jimmy is obviously not dead. He fell off the horse and I think he's gonna get right back up and he's gonna be fine. Though he may have an injury and John told him to stop doing rodeo. You guys know how John gets. Overall though, Jimmy is a wholesome character. We love him. We stan him. And I hope he's doing good and getting enough water. Next, I'm basically just gonna run through these characters because they don't really have so much of a big role in terms of their storylines. And that would have to be Teeter, Walker, Lloyd, Ryan, and Colby. They're all the bunkhouse mates They really have nothing going on. I think Colby and Teeter are in a relationship, but I don't like Teeter that much. I think she's unrealistic and she's a stereotype. I really don't like any of the other bunkhouse people because of the way they treated Jimmy, to be honest. I think they're all very stale, very one-dimensional, but honestly, I think it comes with the territory because these characters are literally not in the main cast. Next, I'm gonna move into the enemies. Chief Thomas Rainwater.
We found her car about 10 miles from here. I need to put together a search, Tom, and I don't have the manpower. I'll make some calls.
So, Rainwater. This is probably going to be very short because Rainwater is non-threatening. Rainwater has literally done nothing. Rainwater has said that he's trying to play the white man's game in order to get ahead. But that ain't working. He's literally trying to buy land back. He's trying to start businesses. He's trying to do literally everything under the sun, but literally fight the enemy. So I don't really know what to say about him. That's really all I have to say about Rainwater because he hasn't done anything. Do I think he's behind the attacks? Probably not. And if he is, I think it was probably Angela Blue Thunder.
We'll stand there again.
Not with you, we won't. There is no such thing as morality. There's own the land, and there's lose the land.
She has the potential to get things done, and I think really she should be in charge. And she reminds me a lot of Beth, girl boss, like she's gonna get things done. I think the Beck brothers are genuinely one of the only enemies in Yellowstone who actually got things done.
We need to find a less subtle means of expressing our displeasure.
Those guys who showed up to Beth's office to beat her up, they beat her up. Those people, they got to go kidnap Tate. They kidnapped Tate. They suspended Dan's liquor license. They literally did so much. They were a nuisance to literally everyone. They were firing shots after shots after shots, and everyone was taking them and no one was fighting back. They literally had to form an alliance. Rainwater, John Dutton, and Dan to try and take the Beck brothers out. Ultimately, they succeeded and they got the Beck brothers, but I mean, they gave them a run for their money. So for that, I think the Beck brothers are the best enemies. They really did get things done. They really were threatening. Next, I'm gonna move into Market Equities, which is the company that is ran by Roarke and Willa.
You need to start playing dirty.
I've been playing dirty. They play dirty right back.
They're playing a zero-sum game. They're doing it with my fucking career. I will not have it.
I don't know if they got things done because honestly, we haven't seen season 4 yet, but I think they have potential. I think Willa telling Roarke that they need to play dirty is like, it's about to go down. So I really do think that Market Equities is behind the attacks of season 3. They're the only people who make sense to me. Other than that, these characters aren't really fleshed out. Like, I don't really know who Willa Hayes is, and I really don't know who Roarke is. I'm hoping that in season 4, we get to explore them, or we get revenge on them, but something, give them a storyline. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. I'm really excited for season 4 that premieres on November 7th. And if you like the video, subscribe. If not, don't. But see you around. Bye.